republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remind everybody that we're recording, and please silence your phones. All right, first up, we've got a public hearing on the open meetings law. Way
Public hearing number 1, adoption of open meetings law procedures for the Village of Homer Board of Trustees, meetings and committees. Whereas subdivision C of section 103 of the Public Officers Law as added by chapter 289 of the laws of 2000 is amended through July 1st, 2024 to require that a public body should provide an opportunity for the public to attend, listen, and observe meetings in at least one physical location at which a member participates. And whereas January 1st, 2024, the New York State Committee on Open Government will submit a report to the state concerning the application and implementation of this law and any further recommendations governing the use of video conferencing by public bodies to conduct meetings. And whereas said law allows a public body in its discretion to use video conferencing to conduct its meetings pursuant to the requirements of the law, provided that a minimum number of members are present to fulfill the public body's quorum requirement in the same physical location or locations where the public can attend, and the following criteria are met. The public body has adopted a resolution by June 14, 2022, authorizing the use of video conference for itself and its committees or subcommittees, and the public body has established written procedures governing member and public attendance consistent with the legislation, and such written procedures are conspicuously posted on the public website of the public body. The members of the public body shall be physically present at any such meeting unless such member is unable to be physically present at any such meeting location due to the extraordinary circumstances as set forth in the resolution, and written procedures adopted, including disability, illness, caregiving responsibilities, or any other significant or unexpected factor or event which precludes the member's physical attendance at such meeting. Except in the case of executive sessions conducted pursuant to law, the public body shall ensure that members of the public body can be heard, seen, and identified while the meeting is being conducted, including but not limited to any motions, proposals, resolutions, and any other matter formally discussed or voted upon. The minutes of the meeting involving video conference shall include which, if any, members participating remotely, and shall be available to the public if video conferencing is used to conduct a meeting. The public notice for the meeting shall inform the public that the video conference will be used, where the public can view and or participate in such meeting, where required documents and records will be posted or available, and identify the physical location of the meeting where the public can attend. The public body shall provide that each meeting conducted using video conferencing shall be recorded, and such recordings posted or linked to the public website of the public body within 5 business days following the meeting, and shall remain so available for a minimum of 5 years thereafter. Such recordings shall be transcribed upon request. Upon meetings of any public body that are broadcast or that are used, video conferencing shall utilize technology to permit access by members of the public with disabilities consistent with the 1990 Americans with Disabilities Act as amended and corresponding guidelines. A member who is participating from a remote location that is not open to in-person physical attendance by the public may not count toward a quorum of the public body, but may participate and vote if there is a quorum of members at a physical location open to the public. In-person participation requirements of the law shall not apply during state disaster or emergency declared by the governor pursuant to section 28 of the executive law, or a local state of emergency proclaimed by the chief executive of a county, city, village, or town pursuant to section 24 of the executive law. If the public body determines that the circumstances necessitating the emergency declaration would affect or impair the ability of the public body to hold an in-person meeting. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village of Homer Board of Trustees hereby adopts the use of video conferencing for meetings of the Village Board of Trustees and standing committees pursuant to the requirements set in subdivision C of section 103 of the Public Officers Law and summarized above. Resolve further that the members shall be permitted to attend meetings remotely due to extraordinary circumstances such as disability, illness, caregiving responsibilities, outside meetings, or any other significant or unexpected factor or event which precludes the member's physical attendance at such meeting. Resolve further, the Village Homer Board of Trustees shall allow members to attend remotely via an established satellite location with participation counting the quorum. Resolve further that the Village Homer Board of Trustees hereby adopts the following procedures for members attending remote meetings. Calendar of meetings will be posted on the Village Homer website that include date, time, physical locations where the member of the public may attend, and directions for receiving instructions for joining the meeting remotely by video conferencing. Members attending remotely from the satellite location must provide notice of the public publicly accessible location from which they will attend as soon as possible, but no later than within 48 hours of the meeting for posting on the public body's website. Members attending remotely from a publicly accessible location where proper notice is given will be counted towards quorum. Members attending remotely shall maintain visual contact throughout the meeting. Members of the Village Homewood Board of Trustees or standing committee shall be recorded, posted to the Village's Homewood YouTube page, and retained for a period of 5 years.
Yeah, next time we gotta read one of those, we should actually look and see if you have to read the entire thing, or if you can just, as they do in the legislature, they just, read the last section, and they just read literally the last 8 words of it.
Yeah, that's possible, but it's also, I mean, transparency.
That's true.
Whole thing, listen to it all.
There you go.
People, maybe, yeah.
Well, very transparently,
I'll make a motion that we accept this, number one.
Yeah, public hearing one.
Public hearing number one. That's, stated.
I'll second it.
any discussion? Any comments from the audience?
Does that include just the village board?
That's all. That's why standing committees. Our language.
Yes, it said standing
The
committees.
other boards don't do that.
Well, they can.
They could if they wanted,
It does cover planning and zoning.
Yes, it
other
does.
standing boards and committees.
It's a blanket cover for the entire.
And we're trying to cover the village, so everybody gets a chance to do it. They have to.
Village board of trustees and standing committees, I would say.
Authorizing video conferencing for itself and its committees or subcommittees. Yeah, you're all set. You want to do that, Don?
Just if we have to, I think.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Nice in the wintertime.
Maybe, big snowstorm or something.
All right,
Seconded.
all in favor?
Close the public hearing. Close the public hearing.
Close the public hearing. Public hearing's closed.
I'll make a motion that we accept the motion as stated.
I'll second it.
There you go. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Hey,
We're still going, we still got more to do. All right, let's do this, I guess. Next up, approving of the minutes.
Two corrections that I noticed. I'll talk to Marie under old business, has the specs as redundant. We'll eliminate one of those. And on the second page, be more specific on the ceiling versus pavement. So hot mix asphalt versus the Cape seal. As it's written, you know, we seal our roads all the time. It might be confusing in the future if somebody's reading that,
Right.
not understanding. So with those two corrections being made tomorrow, I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
First, next up is authorization of the payment of the bills.
I'll make a motion that we authorize payment of the bills.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, next is treasurer's report. You're busy.
I'll make a motion and accept the report as stated here.
I'll second it.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, cemetery reports. Old 8 lots, that's good.
I know we'll be talking more about the electrical and Tim's consulting under new business.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we accept the cemetery report as written.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Codes report.
Pretty accurate, or I don't know about accurate. Chasing down, but I like it. Like a lot of stuff.
Very comprehensive. He's certainly been busy.
Now, we have had issues with the fire inspections. Issues have been, there are some that require re-inspections, and they've been, Adam has been sending letters, and the people that require the re-inspection are not responding. So they're gonna write a letter format that'll give the delinquent properties 30 days to schedule an appointment and for re-inspection. After which, if they don't do that, then we will implement the fines as outlined in our fee fine schedule of $250 per day delinquent. And
You
that
want
will-
somebody burning up?
That's the thing, it's all fun and games till we have a fire, and if they weren't inspected, that would have been preventable. That 250 is a small. So $250 per day, but they're gonna have plenty of time. They'll have 30 days from the time they receive the letter to schedule and make their corrections.
Thank you, Kevin.
Sorry, but
No,
You're fine.
no, you're good. So that's just an update.
That's good. Yep, that's good.
I'll make a motion that we accept the code as
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty.
dog control. Not order, if it is.
No, it's there. It's just one page. Right after code.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's it.
flipped it over, okay.
Chief, do you want to talk about the cats now or under your section?
What's that, Patrick?
You want to talk about the cats now or when we get to your report?
We can talk about when we get to mine.
Okay.
You're gonna sing a little bit from the musical Cats, right, when we do it? All right, next,
I'll make a motion that we accept the dog's
oh
report.
yeah, I forgot.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
It's gonna be a much bigger report soon. All right, next, is PW.
Today, and this today, we get paid $1,700 to haul off trash.
44 tons?
I didn't read the number, but I did see $1,700, which is tax money, which.
That's above and beyond the amount that we're given. by
Oh,
the
really?
county.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's better that than throwing around in the ditches and having our guys have to go pick it up and that kind of
Yes.
stuff. So I'm okay with
It's worth
spending
it.
our tax money
And
on that kind of thing.
We checked IDs at the door, so we know it was really all village residents, so that's important.
No, I thought that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Does he have anything he wants to say?
I got
Phil,
a-
do you have anything you want to say?
I got a question for you, Phil.
Yeah,
go ahead. Flower boxes, first of all, they look great, so
Yeah.
great job to you guys that worked on them. The ones by 41, there's a tree there. Did we plant that tree or was that tree already there?
it was already.
I do believe that was planted by us years ago. It just got away. It had a bunch of trees around it. We cut all the small ones around it and actually gave the tree a form again. It's a linden is what it is. Small leaf
Okay.
linden.
So that's, I got a call from Eric, down at DP or DOT,
Okay.
who saw the flower boxes, because it's kind of on there. It's on the right of way there.
Right.
He thought they looked great, and he said, no problems there. The tree, however, we're gonna lose the tree when they put in the roundabout. And then I asked him again, any stopping it? He said, no, he tried.
Mm.
and he thinks they're gonna start construction within 2 years, because they've already been down there and,
Wow.
yeah, so.
Are we gonna get any specs or designs that we can?
I mean, they're gonna spec it out the way the engineers want to. The only thing they'll let us do is, little cosmetic stuff, and that'll, they'll add that at the end, like what we put in the middle and
No,
fancy stuff on the sidewalk or whatever.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying is at
Yeah.
least a blueprint, so we can start prepping our residents that this is kind of what it's gonna look like.
Yeah,
I think we got that a couple of years ago on the PowerPoint.
yeah, well, I know we got some samples, I don't know. Because when we talked about it, we talked about them having to make some adjustments based on where foot traffic was going, especially with, all the kids that walk to Origins, even though in theory they're moving until that happens, that was gonna be an issue. So I thought that they were gonna make some adjustments. Maybe not. I don't know.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's not,
gonna happen, huh?
yeah, despite all of our best efforts, they're just gonna do it. I don't know why. I really don't.
I thought it was because they didn't want to pay the electric bill for the stoplight.
And they just put in the crosswalk things. They're gonna have to pull those out. So anywho, all right, well, that answers that question, and if we want that tree, we'll have to dig it up when the time comes. I don't know.
Dig it up now while it's younger, if you want to move it.
I don't know.
I don't know if you can.
I don't know. We could ask our arborist,
No, there you go.
which.
Well,
if you're gonna dig that up, you'd better off waiting off until the fall time when it goes to sleep.
There you go.
Yep.
Put it on your list. If somebody wants it, then now's the time to try it. All right, I'll make a motion to accept this report as written.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? Bill, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, the Durkee Park water is on and good to go. We
Excellent.
got all the water lines replaced in it today, so.
Thank you.
And Phil, I got your tree list. Thank you.
All right, yep. That's just the tree list for right now. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be more, so,
Oh, the tree cutting list?
yeah.
You got that? Okay, we need to get that to Ron. Okay.
I also put a list of trees some of them that need to be pruned, they really don't need to be cut, so.
Okay, all right.
He's got the second page.
Excellent. All right, you made the motion,
I
right?
made the motion. Yep, no
For a
second
second.
here.
I second.
You did second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, fire department.
How's our fire department coming with their 503 Cs? Right, no?
We're gonna discuss that later.
Okay. I almost sent you an email when I said, oh, they're having barbecues and funding and beverages, and I said, oh, they're still using their village number illegally, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure.
All right.
I didn't.
That's an amazing, again, what Ken Ford did, that's fantastic.
Yeah. I like to see the training. Gee, that was good. The leaf lawn fire school. And the fireman's parade was a lot of fun. Thanks for keeping me straight up on the reviewing stand.
Next year, if they do that to us, we'll have to bring binoculars so we can write them down as they come around the corner.
But I was thinking maybe we'll get a golf cart, and before we go up to the reviewing stand, we'll just go.
Oh, there you go, drive around, right around.
I was thinking, is there any way we can get some of these pictures up on our village Facebook site or?
If they email them to us or to Steve,
Yeah.
we can put them up.
So they put them up on our fire department website.
Yeah, he can just,
You could go pull them there, maybe.
yeah, he can get them from there, and or just share their post.
A lot of good stuff there. I got nothing for 'em. I'll make a motion that we accept the fire department. Well, do you have anything, John? Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Is it your birthday today?
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thank all the firemen for what they do. Rest of us run away, they run towards it, so that's darn brave.
I'll make a motion that we accept accept the fire report as written. No, we wish we had the fire inspections,
Yes.
so I got ahead of myself.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay. All right, fire inspector reports.
I jumped the gun on that one when we were talking about codes, but
That's all right.
always good to reiterate sometimes.
Yeah.
That's someday I hope to meet Adam Brown. If he stood in front of me right now and didn't say his name, I wouldn't know.
He was
But I would
working,
like to know.
he was working with Kevin today. 'Cause
Oh, okay.
Kevin's gonna be going on vacation. Adam's gonna step in for him.
I'll make a motion to accept this report as written.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Police.
480 calls, man. You guys are active.
Chief, anything you wanna highlight?
It's not in the report, but we get well, I guess it is in the report. The torch run for the Special Olympics is this Saturday. Starts at 10, goes to Durkee Park. They're selling T-shirts and accepting donations. So, and then the 24th and 25th, the summer games, Special Olympics summer games are going to be in Ithaca. The e-bike is in and all decorated up. And our new patrol car is in and it's been detailed. So
Is it in use?
not yet. I got to take it down to priority to get one stripped out, put the equipment from the one into the other.
Okay.
So
What does it take to get the cameras clean? You have a note there, they need the protective coverings need clean. Is that something the office needs to have somebody come around and order up to do, or can you DPW on a ladder with a rag or?
Yeah, DPW typically have been keeping them clean, but they're in for a good cleaning. I spoke to Phil about it. They're on his list.
That's good enough for me then.
Very good.
All right, I'll make a motion, we accept the chief's report as written. And thank you for all your officers, they're out there doing a great job.
I'll second it.
For the discussion, Chief, you're too kind sometimes. So your torch run starts at the fire department and goes up to Durkee at 10 o'clock, correct, on Saturday?
Yes, there better be a cowbell involved.
I'm working on more cowbell, so I
Okay.
encourage all of our residents, especially on Main Street, to kind of get out there and cheer them on. We have the National Night Out on August 2nd. That's going to be a great thing from Village Green. I was impressed that you guys managed to sponsor 2 Little League teams this year. How'd they do, or are they still playing?
Still playing. I'll leave it at that. Well, they're still playing. They're having fun. They're having fun.
That's the important thing. And they
Yeah.
said Officer Malone participated in Law and Order Night at Tully's in Fairmont to raise money for Special Olympics.
Yes. Yep. And he donated his time up there.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
And then you guys are doing the procedural justice training at Suny Cortland.
Yep. We finished up June 2nd. So just about all the officers have been through the training. I believe we're lacking like 2, but I'll actually get them into it.
I just want to say, Chief, because you were so far ahead of these things that when we were doing the police reform and reinvention, you were way ahead of everything. So thank you for that.
No,
Then the other thing is, so about last year, we put in the stop sign at Copeland Ave, and it is not as effective as we were hoping.
We've had reports from the mayor of Copeland Ave that they're still speeding.
Well, and Chief, you've got some other evidence to that too, correct?
Thank I actually lost the signal there. I didn't hear what you said.
We were talking about the stop sign at Copeland Ave not having the desired effect for slowing people down.
Yeah, my guys are over there sitting, either doing radar or watching the stop sign. So I know I've talked with you about the digital solar speed signs.
Mhm.
So, one more project we really need to get going on.
So with that, since that's the next step for us is to get some of the,
What do they cost?
we've got a couple in the department in the DPW that we found, but we have to check and we look the batteries, the backup batteries to make sure that they're set. So I'll do a little bit, I'll work with Chief and I'll work with Phil.
Good.
And but I think that's the next step we have to take to try to control.
Well, what I noticed on that stop sign, is you had quite a ways on Copeland before you hit it. It's just before the school. So you got a long way to, wind up your car or bicycle or motorcycle. Maybe if you had another one back. So you had maybe another stop sign. So it broke it up. That's quite a distance before that. And then it's not that far to the end of Copeland up by the school. So I drove up there the other day and says, oh, there it is. Oh, well. Yeah, I like that. Get those lights up.
So we have a motion. That was my discussion part. So. Oh, yeah, Chief, you're talking about the, thanks, Kevin. The cat.
Yes. I don't know how I got and spearheaded into it, but yeah.
That's because Lindsay's not here.
Oh, okay. We got a couple areas around the village. There's quite a conglomerate of feral cats, and residents are feeding them, which adds to the problem. Not only feeding them, but not only does it attract the feral cats, it also attracts foxes, skunks, possums, mice, rats. So there is a public health law where basically if you feed them, you own them, you have to get them vaccinated. So we will be mailing out letters to let people know that, if they feed them, they're responsible for them.
And they eat a lot of birds, so I mean, if you're a birder, you don't like feral cats.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Now I think we're ready.
Now we're ready?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, thanks, Chief.
All right, all set?
Yep.
I think so.
All right. Take care. Have a good night.
You too.
You too.
All right. Police recreation. Looks like things are going fairly well.
CCYSA summer soccer registration is closed through Portland Youth Bureau, but the wait list is still open. Homer Soccer Opus Fun Night, organized pickup soccer. Okay. With Coach Chris Guy. I'm probably mispronouncing his name. I apologize for that. June 24th from 6 to 7:30 on the high school turf field for anyone entering 3rd through 6th grade in the fall of 2022.
Now, I don't see on here, I mentioned adult kickball leagues.
You did mention that last
Yeah.
time, didn't you?
Yeah, it didn't get any traction. we'll see. We'll try again at some point. I don't know, someone suggested it to me. Pickleball and adult kickball are the ones that I get the requests for.
Yeah.
So we got the concerts all lined up.
We got camps coming up, Homer Girls Volleyball Camp, grades 3 to 7 from 9 to 10:30. Have a date on that, so I'm sure they're on the website.
All right,
Make a motion to accept the report as written.
Pat wants this meeting to go long.
Second.
All in favor?
Well, it's just a lot of information that
There is.
sometimes I wonder if it, I get concerned it doesn't get out.
All right, water and sewer.
Buzz, anything?
I don't know, has anybody heard anything about developing on the east side of Homer? I got a call, somebody was looking for hookup for water. It says it is out of the village, but can't figure where it would be. Only thing I think of is that farmland over there that's on Albany Street, that's down by the river. It's in the village. It's the village? Wells is in the village.
Whittles is, that cornfield.
But I've called
Only
them
one I
back
think we
twice, and
got.
all I get is a busy signal. So I don't know.
What's our policy been on hooking up water and sewer for non-village residents?
Non-village residents,
Yeah, I mean, if this property is not in the village, I don't see why we would do it.
what have we annexed in?
Right, because if it's not, then we run into some of these problems that, if we ever wanna get rid of them. Can we, whatever, so yeah, I would, so that's interesting.
But I get no answer from them. They just get busy signal. That's it. So I'm curious where he was talking, basically.
Huh,
So I don't see anything about meters, so are they all in?
Mostly like just very few, I think about 4.
And that's because we can't get them
It's because they
or
don't,
timing?
they don't call back to him for this.
they're just paying the fines.
They couldn't find them.
And they're happy with that.
I'm
I don't
happy
think
with
I
that.
would be.
Well, I am.
Well, yeah, well, I am too, so, we want everybody to be on them, and so that way it's
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
it's easier.
All the big ones are in.
All right,
That's,
All the big ones are in. It's only just a
couple homeowners.
handful of them that are just well not. We've had 2 this week,
Okay,
so
it only takes 20 minutes if it's a house. I know they did mine, I watched them. It's quick and easy.
one of them isn't the one we were talking about yesterday that doesn't like to pay her bill, is it? It's on the same,
no, she does have one.
oh, she does have one? Okay, well, that's good.
Paid her.
She did pay it? Good, I kind of figured she probably would.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept Buzz's water and sewer report for
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right. Yeah, privilege of the floor, sorry. Got ahead of myself. Privilege of the floor. Once, twice, thrice. Seeing no one. All right.
Will mentioned we got our correlator fixed. They didn't-
Oh, good.
Oh, it did get fixed?
And
Oh, that's good.
we're
Squeeze a few
using
more.
it. And we're using it right now.
Yeah, finding leaks. Yeah, hopefully we'll squeeze a few more years out of it. All right, accept a petition from the Readers and Leaders Club of Homer Central Junior High School. That's right, they wanted to donate poop bags and hooks. In the hope that people will clean up after their dog poop.
I remember Phil saying we did this at one time and people would just come around and just pull them out and throw them all over the yard, and they would have to go out and pick them up. So it ended up being a good idea with bad execution.
Well,
So I'm not against this.
I'd say let's, for the readers and leaders, we need to give it a try,
That's what I would do too.
you know?
They've identified a problem, they found the funding.
Yep,
Oh, I'm all
it's pretty
for it.
impressive.
I'm all for it. I just
Great.
hope that we don't have a bunch of vandals that just want to make. messes.
Well,
I just want to say,
I like it.
kudos to the Homer Junior High School. And in the radio, it sounded like it was the Homer High School, and I want to emphasize it's the junior high,
Right.
it's the sixth graders
Yep.
that came up with this solution.
no, it's fantastic.
And I think this is absolutely fantastic.
Agreed.
Definitely future leaders here.
Yeah.
So I would make a motion that we accept their proposal.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Off the top.
No, I'm impressed. They did great. This really, was proactive. So all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
So-
Good.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea too. We have no issue putting the hooks on all the garbage cans either. So I looked that over. That's a good idea. I like that.
Excellent.
I was gonna say, Phil, you guys probably know the best locations where to put them where the dog walkers are.
Oh, yeah.
So we just have to have them link up with Phil then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then, we might at some point look into, we'll talk about it for next meeting, getting some.
Photo op.
Well, yeah, I mean, the photo op, it would be nice to meet the kids, but when they get installed, we'll go maybe invite them, but we might want to put up some signs that just say, first of all, clean up after your dog, but also,
Yeah.
give them a little credit at the bottom of it, of the sign for,
There you go.
for getting it. So
Well, Bill knows the sign guy.
he does. All right.
Oh, we have a couple sign guys, so.
Oh, okay.
All right. The next up is review and approve the following fire department membership applications. Victor Santos, Joe Condon, and Thomas Purdy.
I don't have any problem with them. I'm glad they applied.
Yep, they, all concerns, I think, were satisfied, right?
Yeah, and the one will be covered when they go for their physical, so as long as that passes, then.
No problem.
No problems.
Okay.
I will make a do we need to do each one individually, or can we blanket all three? I'll make a motion that we approve the following fire department membership applications of Victor Santos, Joseph Congdon, and Thomas Purdy. Contingent upon the passing of all the medical issues.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Chief, we just kind of ramrodded that through. Anything to add to those three? Okay,
I know two of them, so.
okay. We won't hold back.
One I'm gonna be introduced to in this.
All right. Next up is proposed updated cemetery fees.
We're still a lot cheaper than St. Mary's down the street. I'm good with it.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the updated cemetery fees.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, approve Tim's consulting proposal for electric work at the rec building.
Just to remove the electric for demolition and we're gonna salvage most all of it to be repurposed.
Very good.
I don't know, Tim, but if somebody, it's okay, good guy.
Yeah,
I expect. All right, I'm in. I'll make a motion to accept this proposal.
I'll second it.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, very good. All right, next up is approving the contract with Michael Grimm Services for arborist services. So we did find an arborist, or actually an arborist found us, thankfully. Even though I had met him a few times through the scouting thing, I didn't know he was an arborist. So he's going to, first, he's going to take a look at the list of trees to be cut and see if any are worth saving. Then he's going to do all the trees on the green, see how they're doing, which ones need pruning, which ones need removal. And then he's gonna do what he calls a sort of a windshield inspection.
Drive around, look, yeah.
Yep, and I gave him a map of every street in the village, and he's just gonna do every street, and see, and if he, sees an issue. And we may have to come back for more funding, they're $100 an hour. So, which is
Everybody with a
reasonable.
vehicle is that.
Yeah, and it's
Pay
reasonable.
more than that to get your car fixed.
Oh, yeah, and so, that also, he's gonna volunteer on the Tree City, USA committee with Pat, and, he's gonna look over the materials I put together about volcano mulching, which really is a bad thing.
This is a great idea. We haven't had a real good look at our trees by a professional in a long time. And this may not be an every year thing, but I'm for it, at least. This
Think
hasn't been
about-
done while I've been here, so I think it's a really good idea.
If he can go in and identify a tree that's slated to be cut down and say, if we just trim here, here, and here, we can save it, that adds up.
Our trees
pays for
are
itself.
what makes this place look so good. And our
Well, yeah.
sidewalks, if we can get them better.
And it also saves
Yeah.
a lot of money. So yeah, this is a great thing.
I'll make a motion and we accept his bid as stated.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, so he's already identified that some of our ash trees in Durkee Park are infested with the emerald ash borer. So we know that's, and, it's too late to save those. We may be able to save some other ones. We'll see. The other, I've had some issues from residents that, Steve does a great job. Steve's our tree trimmer. And there's been some concern that as a tree trimmer, he might not take the same look at a tree as somebody. So this provides a level of separation as we go.
Second
through
set of
things.
eyes.
Right,
No, I'm
so
for it.
when we say a tree needs to come down, we've got the arborist, we got our tree trim,
Right.
there's no conflict of interest
Right.
on that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to, I think our guys do a great job, Phil and Steve do a great job, but also as part of Tree City USA, we need to have an arborist on the
Yep.
committee available, so this hits a bunch of different things, and I'll stop talking now because
Oh,
I'm
it's so
extending the
important, though,
meeting.
it's so important.
It's all right,
The
we're
village,
going.
things could happen, and I have a question for Ken.
Yeah.
How do trees wind up on your list of trees? Do we have residents who are calling in concerned, or is this something that
I'll let
employees have
Phil,
noticed?
how does a tree get on the list?
Well, a tree gets on the list, first of all, if it's considered a dangerous tree, if it has a split in it, any rot at the bottom. I go around periodically and check our trees for rot, especially the ash, like you said. The ones at Durkee Park are dead. I don't think there's even saving them. But
No.
yeah, a lot of it's after a storm or something. I'll go around and check, see if there's any major storm damage on some of them, big splits in them. And mainly just the bark falls off some of those ones that are diseased and stuff. The tops of the trees, I call it head rot, which is real prevalent in our hard maple right now, which has killed a lot of our trees in the village, the hard maples. It starts rotting from the top and it works its way right down.
Wow.
So, and we also do have some residents, and that gets sent
Yep.
over to Phil, and Phil does
Yep.
the spot check to make sure.
It's a lot less money to trim a tree than it is to cut it down, so. And a lot better for the village in general. So,
We vote.
I don't remember.
Yes, we had a motion, we had a second, we went to discussion,
Okay,
and now we're ready to vote.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Last meeting, we set a record for speed, how fast it was. We're going the other direction tonight.
We're still making good time.
We were done by 7:30 last night.
No, last time we were done by 6:45.
6:45.
All right, next up is approval of an incident reporting form for the village for any time that there's any sort of incident that happens with property damage. So all departments can use this.
Part of this is our departments usually, as soon as they hear or see something, they go ahead and make the correction on the spot. They're really quick about that. But then sometimes it makes it difficult for the office to respond back to residents to say, yes, this is indeed closed out, or we have a history of it. So this puts it into a format that we can utilize.
Yeah, I like it.
Makes sense.
It's easy, it's simple, one page.
Yep.
I like the font, I like the layout. I think there's an adequate number of lines, the spacing between the lines is good. The logo's on there, it's faded on mine. Yours isn't even in color.
Brown, I like it.
I'll make a motion that we accept the incident report format.
I'll second.
We'll let Maureen know-
Discussion,
I'll let Maureen know you highly approve of.
very, yes, yes. Same, Sarah. All in favor?
I,
Okay, unanimous. All right.
She had a very unique way of putting the logo at the top, so instead of a cut and paste
Oh,
hard copy onto the copy, so
I could,
we could dress up the form a little bit better.
could always email the template for the letterhead.
It was the way she,
Yeah,
it was a Maureen issue, not a.
there you go.
A foreign issue.
Okay, the next thing is, we don't have documentation for it, but we did get a grant from the Cortland Community Foundation for a portable ice rink for the green. I think it was for 5,000 or 5,500. I'm not sure what it came in at. And Zach's going to research. I think the one we were looking at was 10, 11,000. And it's one that's, it doesn't make its own ice, but it keeps the water contained so that, you know, we have a lot of these freeze thaws, and having the water contained, then we don't have to send anyone out there with the hose every time, you know, to refill it. And it's got boards, but they're not, you know, they're only about this tall.
People can step over them, man.
Exactly.
They don't have a door to swing
Yeah.
through. It's not like a hockey rink.
And it's I think they said you could set it up in like a half an hour. I mean, it's really,
30 by 90, 30 by 60 of it, any idea?
no, but I'll email you the specs.
Do we need to get a mini Zamboni for it?
We're gonna need to figure something out, but
If they have them, they go on like on a riding lawnmower, and I know we got riding lawnmowers.
yeah, well, I have to see.
Oh, we got that nice bend track. Boy, that thing would probably be able to drive one easy.
Yeah, well, the Ventrac with the broom attachment would even clear it up, but we'll figure that out. What we do need to figure out though is where we're gonna come up with the additional funding.
ARP money.
Well, there's that. We can also look to the community or some of the local businesses for donations like we did with the basketball hoops. You know, this is the kind of thing that will definitely bring people downtown, so I'm open to ideas.
Oh, I think all of them are good.
This might
go right to our pocketbook instantly.
This might be one of the first official tasks of the new, soon to be newly reconstituted rec committee.
Certainly.
So, but it's a great thing. I think it's gonna bring back skating on the green. You know, it's just when with the weather,
Miss so bad, yeah.
with the warming, everything, it just doesn't stay cold as much, and so, but this will, I think, allow a lot more skating days. So anyway, that's that. All right,
so do we need
More to come then.
no, we don't need to vote on anything.
Okay.
Oh, well, we do need to vote to accept the funds.
I make a motion that we accept the funds from the Cortland Community Foundation for a portable ice rink.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, yep, well, thank them very much for that. Okay, we discussed the additional funds. All right, discussion of a landscape architect proposal for Linear Park. So we've been working with Matt from Suny ESF and his class, and they came down and did the 6 designs, which are terrific, or 4 designs, which are terrific. But they need some work. We need to schedule a community input session soon, and then we need some work to kind of get them further along. His estimate on how much a landscape architect would charge to do the entire project was, I think, $35,000. And if we pay him 5,000, he can get it much farther down the road and save us probably about 15,000 on that fee, so.
Yeah, we need to have something done that's professional, because you don't want me doing it.
Yeah, and I had no idea just how, I mean, landscape architects are, they're the real deal. They
Oh,
are.
yeah.
So after, when he'll get it to in shape so that a landscape architect will take a lot less time to actually do what they have to do. Because we need a certified landscape architect to do the plans and all that sort of thing, so. This is not to vote on tonight, it's just for you guys to look at and to discuss.
I like it though.
Yeah,
I'm in.
all right. Next up is discussion of celebratory signage for the Homer Central School District student accomplishments, which I think to me is a no-brainer. I think this is a great idea.
Hey, these guys are state champions. You
Yeah.
don't get a state champion every day.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah,
This is great.
I absolutely think that we should do this. My opinion, but
No, there's not a cost yet. We need to get a little bit more details as to location, cost, and where we want to place it.
yeah, I mean, the no-brainer one is that there's a place right on that sign in front of the high school.
That's where
Right.
you want it.
Yeah.
Definitely want it there, but,
The fire station.
oh, by the fire station?
Yeah, we'll look at the different locations.
Yeah, I would think.
By the school's the best.
Well, yeah, but I would think we want probably at least 3 or 4 locations. You know,
That's the most traffic. You want more people to see it.
So I think we're yes to the concept. We just need to flesh out the details.
yeah, we just need to figure out the locations and, because I know that even coming down Route 11, there is anywhere that there's a small sign that says welcome to the Village of Homer, or Village of Homer.
They'd be right below it.
You could just go right below it.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I think there's one of those pretty much at every entrance to the village. So we probably pick 281 each direction, coming down 90. And then maybe coming over Albany. Then we have to decide if we want to do 41 and 11.
And discussions already begun with the district itself to share as far as cost share.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jason Reynolds in his application, he's the wrestling coach. He said he would try and locate some examples and ideas that I'm sure he could share with us about what it could look like.
That's
Great.
one of the photographs.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the basic.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea. So, all right, we'll get more information. We'll move forward on that. All right, so no Dante, comments by board members, starting with Edward.
Good go. No, we didn't go through our list of how's everything going on our projects, but that's okay. I'm sure they're fine.
They're going. Pat, want to go next?
Just for perhaps the next meeting, we were talking about, they had planning, or it was a CBA had an issue with the research park. And it's because we don't have specific zoning for it.
Right,
It goes to residential,
right,
which is kind of prohibitive.
right.
We need to look at zoning that to at least B2, which I think should be a relatively simple thing for us to do. Maybe
I
if
agree.
not the next meeting or the meeting after, we can look at it. That would help clarify, make things easier for our planning and zoning boards in that area.
And we need to do it. We need to update our sign ordinance.
Yeah, we need to do
They go
that.
hand in hand. And so, yeah, we'll have to get with Dante. He's under the weather, but I'll try to meet with him later this week or early next week. On that. That's all you got?
Well, then had a great NICOM conference last
good.
Wednesday, Thursday, so a lot of good information. Share with you guys there.
You definitely need to go in September. If you haven't done, you should do it.
Yeah, I
I've
don't,
gone to a couple
yeah, the September one is super valuable. I don't know which, I think that it's back in Lake Placid this year,
of
but
them. Saratoga.
is it Saratoga this year?
It's back, yeah.
Like Lake Placid.
I've gone twice, so.
It's
I
the
would rather have
one,
You guys go.
you learn a ton.
I don't know if
You learn a
lawyers
ton.
can get credit for your additional training.
No, they
But
do.
We might have some CLEs.
They do
But
have,
you- but
they
they
do
do
have
have
CLE.
classes there that give you credit for, I don't know what lawyers need to do to keep.
CLE.
We just need something.
Oh,
They,
they do that there, so that's a good one.
they do
to go
CLE
to.
credit.
Okay.
And it's paid for by us, and you'll learn a lot, and you get some credit towards
That's
you keeping your license up to date, so.
That's all I
I
have.
would recommend you think really hard about it, it's really good,
Kevin,
and it's contacts.
Okay, this might be a little confusing. Tanya, are you on?
It's there.
Is Phil still there? Okay, anyway.
I am
Yeah,
here.
I'm still here. Yep.
Okay. So after I found out through due diligence who owned the corner lot that we put the flower boxes on, okay, I guess there was some communication, but when I talked with Tanya and I talked with Miss Wolf, who is the real estate person for 7-Eleven on that particular spot. Okay, I emailed her that we would mow around that area that we're gonna put the flower boxes. You know, perhaps for them letting us use that spot. Remember that conversation, Tanya?
I know we can do that. We just have to get it approved at the board and do an agreement. It's not an issue.
Right, but that we were gonna mow it. And then I guess Phil had an issue with mowing it, is that right, Phil?
No, I just assumed that because we had talked, I went over and talked to the lady at the new convenience store, whatever, it's Joe's or whatever. And she
Right.
said that Speedway still owns that property. And she was actually got on the phone while I stood there and told them that they need to get somebody to and mow it. And that was 3 weeks ago. So then I actually put that on to Kevin. I put that on my list of some of the places that haven't been mowed yet this year. And that's as far as I got. But tomorrow morning, we definitely will mow around that.
Okay, perfect. And then the vacant gas station that's next to that, what are we gonna do about that mess?
that's owned by the same people.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know why they won't break it off and sell it. I really don't.
My big issue is that we're trying to beautify the 281 corridor, and that is just, I can't say.
A vacant building does not help.
So,
It's a freaking hate deal all around it,
I know.
and it just,
Ms. Wolf didn't say anything about that?
I haven't spoken to her yet.
well, and I did give her contact information to one of the local developers that was interested in it, and told them to reach out. I don't know, I'll follow up with them and see if they heard back, but maybe I'll shoot her an email just to find out what their plans are. Somebody had an idea, and it might have been Don. Even Don had this idea about having the high school students paint murals on the, is that you? Wasn't you, Don?
No,
Who the heck?
I'd like to take.
Gotta be
I
good.
can't remember who I was, no, it wasn't Victor, maybe it was at the economic development DRI meeting, but, you know, the windows are boarded up, maybe having someone come and paint murals on there or something, just to make it look a little nicer at least. A little less,
Whatever we can do.
yeah,
But
as I recall, and I don't have the documentation, but I recall that there used to be a gas station where that vacant lot is. Hudson Gas. And they wanted to build a new station to the north. And the stipulation was they were allowed to build a new station, but they could not use that vacant lot for any commercial purposes.
huh,
So you may have to go back and look at deeds and
yeah.
planning board, zoning board, whatever happened, but that was,
Well, that's good, because I prefer that vacant lot not be used for anything, but,
right, but just, you know, that somebody, if somebody wants to buy it,
right,
you know, there was at one time, as I recall, a deed restriction or maybe not a deed restriction, those restrictions.
That almost seems like the kind of property that the village ought to just purchase. You know? Otherwise, it's hard
They
to,
gotta pay taxes on it, so I mean,
Well-
if they can't make money on it, but yeah, it's
it's
something
it's
that
hard to, yeah, it's hard to
it
get
may
someone.
be a good use for us. I don't know what exactly.
Well, just for what it is, it's a place for signage and flower boxes
It's a
and,
good entrance sign for the downtown Homer.
yeah,
If you own the property, you could do that. And
Right.
my idea is to put a big old,
right. I just, I don't want it to be, well, I mean, who would buy it? You can't develop
well, if you can't do a commercial thing on it and nobody's gonna put a house there, I
Right.
doubt.
Hal, can you put the charging station there that you were looking at getting donated?
it. Not at the vacant lot, but at the old gas station would be a great place for electric charging station, but I think
Normally,
that's
you
probably
want
a lot of our,
charging stations where people can walk to shopping and that kind of stuff.
Well, we-
so-
yeah, I think we need them on either side of the village though.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna need some more. I have, that's on my list of things I need to review and because you can get the charging stations for almost free at this point.
Wow.
So we need several.
Anyways, I've had people that come up to me and say how nice it looks and
It does.
it's a touch of class.
Yeah.
So I just want to get it mowed.
Does look good.
Yeah.
Look great.
Yep, no problem. It'll be done tomorrow.
Like I said, I told her for the use of that parcel, we'll mow it.
Okay, the whole parcel.
No,
No, just the corner
the
parcel.
corner parcel.
No, okay, just the vacant corner part. They still are supposed to mow the station then.
Yeah.
Good, okay, all right.
And see if we can't make some movement on that as well. Already been, what's that? The tracks on James Street, how we doing there?
I have no idea. Any idea on that, Phil?
Yeah, I got a hold of, Sean. I forgot his last name in the moment. I actually talked to him about 3 weeks ago and he was supposed to be here last week, but they had an emergency job come up in Tully. But he said, we are on the list to get that done. As he realized that the rails are a little taller than what they were. That's why it's such a big bump. But he,
Nice and smooth, but
yeah, he said he'll come in. I told him he needs to put some hot mix in there and he said, yeah, he's trying to get there as fast as he can. So that's all I got. To be honest with you.
I guess that's all I got.
All right, Elizabeth.
I do not have any list tonight. Thank you.
I did, in speaking with Eric down at the DOT, get again confirmation that we don't have anything to worry about with the paving project on Main Street coming through anywhere near the time of the Brockway or Holiday and Homer. So,
That's good.
yeah, even and including the night out, we should be good on all of it. He's said we probably won't see them till October,
Okay,
so,
That's good.
paving Main Street, October time-ish.
yeah,
Good.
so that was a good conversation.
I like
All
that.
right.
Eric's a good guy.
We're gonna need to go into executive session to discuss some personnel matters, but before that, questions from the media. Nothing? Nothing's done? All right. We have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we go into executive session per New York State Public Officers Law, Article 7, Section 105, personnel matters.
Second.